Okay, so let me make sure I have the chat on my, oh my god, I have too many things open. Okay, here we go. So let me make sure I have the chat open on my phone, and then we will get started. This one will be a bit more focused on CSS, CSS, and we're going to try some techniques that I haven't tried yet that involve Vue to make like a board game. So this will be interesting. And I don't want this to take more than like an hour and a half at the most. So just for what it's worth. Okay, so the plan is to finish what we've started, which is this movies web app, right? And so the only thing that we need to do is that all this data is, right now we're sort of cheating because this data is just being loaded locally, which is sort of ridiculous because if this were really like a thing, we'd probably be consuming an API, which means that we need to have a method to talk to like a database or something and then retrieve the data like that. So what we've done is we've actually defined our own API, which is live on the internet. So I'll put this back in the chat, and then you can just double check that it's working if you'd like. I don't think it'll keep working after, but it'll be working for this. Hey Nick, welcome back. All right, so if I go to this URL, we get the data. We should get the data. Do we get the data? Oh, you know what we do, but it doesn't show the data. It's just capturing it locally into the, oh, it should be. Uh-oh. Where's our data? Let's check the server. So we're in the server, and I have API running, so it should be okay. Oh, you know what? I'm using the wrong URL. This happened last time. This is, sorry, I gave you the wrong URL. This is the right URL. So let me put that in the chat. All right, so this is the right one. Now if we go there, we get all the data, which is what we're expecting, to be honest, so that's fine. Now all we need to do is put this data in our web app. So now we're basically going to combine the code that we've written, right? So this is the Axios code, and we're not doing error handling, we're not doing any of that stuff. We just want a method to get the data from a URL and then save it into a variable. So let's open the current state of our app, which is in, is it app? I think it's app. Okay. Now we're going to take off the training wheels, which was this file, and effectively I'm just going to put some logic in here, right? So, Jesus, right? So now, I mean, there's probably like a better way to do this. I'm effectively querying a server, getting the data, saving it into a variable, and now I can bind the data as like the results, right? So I can just put that there. Now in theory, this might take like an extra second to load, but it should be getting it from our server that we've defined, and it didn't, so there's an error. Let's try to find out why. Oh, we have a dependency that I didn't load. So we need to get Axios, which is just a script tag. It's not that complicated. And it's this one that I forgot, right? So we're going to put Axios into here. And then while we're at it, so we have Vue and Axios, I'm actually going to put them in the head tag. And the reason is, I believe what's going to happen is right now, there's a split second where we see sort of the Vue code. And that's not ideal. Oh, hey Ryan. Hey. So what's happening is when we load our app, we're seeing this stuff for just a split second, and I think we can basically get that to stop happening by putting it in our head tag instead, because it means that, like, let's load our, let's put it after our reset, but before everything else. So like I'm hoping that our website won't show that because it hasn't loaded the DOM, but it has loaded the JavaScript. Okay, so now it's kind of working, except we don't have, oh, did it work? Yeah, so data is defined. So why don't we see it? Because this should be iterating over the data. Sorry. So this is loaded. We call the function. Oh, YouTube crashed. So we bind data to here, which means that by the time we get down to here, this should be in memory. So I'm just going to load the chat back. Okay. Is the live stream still going? Uh-oh. Yeah, it should be fine. Just want to check, are you guys getting this? Are we online? Sorry. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're online, sorry. Just being paranoid. Okay, cool. So, we've got the data, but it's not, let's check if it's bound to our app. So we can go app, data. Oh, whoa. Where is that coming from? So, oh, it's results, sorry. So we have results. And results is an observer, whoa. The heck? I wonder if data is a bad name for this. Data from this, let's just be like really clear. So we want data, let's use server data. This will store an array. We're going to update this with that, and then we want to access server data in our results. Okay, okay, let's try this. Okay, we got the GET request, which means, oh, server result, server data is globally defined. Okay, so the data, the object is in memory, which means if I go to app and then I access results, we're hoping that this will be a reference to server data. So I go to results. I'm still getting an observer, which is sort of weird. Oh, wait a minute. Do I need to do... Hang on. I wonder... What is an observer? I don't know what this means. What is a JavaScript observer? Subscription model. If we make results a computed property, then it can work like a function. And then we can just put this logic inside of it. And then instead it would return, but we're returning from a function. This is weird. This is why I don't like callbacks, because if we return from this function, we have to get it. Oh, so Axios get, do a GET request, and then we do a then. I don't know how to do this. Server data is an observer. Results, server data. Server data. Let's try to use first principles. Okay, so we load it. We did the XR request. We have server data up here. Server data is fine, but nothing's being painted. So this is the problem. If you guys have ideas, let me know. I'm not really sure what's going on, because this stuff doesn't matter. this. Axios do a get request. Let's just double check how to do Axios. Get request Axios. Okay, let's find out how to do this. So we use this one before. Sorry. Okay, so we do an Axios request, and we have a callback. The callback takes a response as an argument. They're just logging it here. This is multiple requests. This is interesting. What if we get rid of the error handling and just do like this? That wouldn't work either. I don't know how to do this. If we get stuck, we can just skip it because it's probably something simple. Oh, you know what? Axios Sarah Dresner. I think she has an article where she talks about this in the context of Vue, and I think that could help us. I just saw this like a week ago. Sarah Vue code tricks. What's it called? Coding tricks? I don't remember. CSS tricks. Okay. CSS. And then let's check Axios. Okay, this should be the article I was thinking about. Okay, so all this is local, and I think she does Axios in here somewhere. No. Nope. Okay, somewhere in here. No, it doesn't talk about it. Shoot. Axios with Vue JS. Let's just find out how to do this. Okay, there's actually official documentation. Okay, so they're saying make data a function that returns info which initializes as null. And then, okay, I am happy to experiment with this. Let's try that. Okay, so we're assuming that we can make this a function instead. And something like this, right? And then we go to here. So instead of making data a function, this is weird. So like this, return results, initialize that to null, and then put, okay, let's try that. So they don't have a comma there. And then we need to add a new member to our object called mounted, which would do the, okay, so we don't need this at the global scope. We can use the mounted instead. So we put mounted here, and then we'll put a comma after it because we have methods still. And then, oops. Okay, so we're doing, okay, this is weird. Result, so this results, which, let's look at their example. So info, okay, so there's no, whoa. Oh, this is an object. but they made, so this is weird to me because our data has multiple things inside of it and theirs doesn't. So I'm tempted to like check using the scientific method, how do we do data with multiple properties? Because this is a missing step. But assuming it wasn't an issue, and we just wing it, so we have mounted, which looks a little funny. So we call mounted with a comma here and a comma there. We call Axios get, and we don't want CoinDesk. We want to consume our own API, which we defined here. So that goes here. So we're going to consume our API, and then we have a promise that says set this results to the result of response. Okay. Okay. And then we're just going to wing it. Okay, so let's put this in here. So, okay, so we have searching query. This is super weird. I feel like it's just going to fail. It's like otherwise. Oh, maybe we're just making this complex for no reason. Maybe we can just set results to like null and then just ignore it. Okay, so let me just check one thing. If we go all the way back in time, okay, so we're going to set results to null. We're not going to use this fancy function data thing. And then we're going to delegate to mounted to set this results to the JSON from our custom API. Okay. Let's try this. Okay, let's just see if this compiles. That'd be like a win. It doesn't, because this result is not iterable. So I think if we go back to our example, we couldn't just say this results, which I was sort of worried about. We had to do something, oh my god. We had to do something else. We had to access the data. Right, so we need to do basically response.data, right? Because like if this is the argument, we want to extract the data from the argument. So I think that'll work. Still saying this results. Okay, so let's find out what this is pointing to. This results, what are you? You're undefined. Oh, because this, okay, so we have to say app results. That kind of does look iterable. Right? Maybe. So like maybe we can try this. We can say for result of app results console log. I'm going to say results and then result, like let's say like year. Yeah, that is totally iterable. Okay, so basically we use mounted to not do anything in the global namespace, but instead, if we need to run some functionality at the start of our application, which I didn't know, so that's good. Let's get rid of null and make that an empty array. Try this again. Hey, the only problem was that this was null. If this is an array, for whatever reason, this is now iterable, which it always was, but now our data has been delegated to a server, and we just have a very, I think this is a promise, I don't know. We have a very simple then to deal with the response, and we need to get the data because if we get the whole thing, we're getting like the status and everything else. Yeah, so we need to access the data inside of the request, and then everything else just works, right? So like we don't have any error handling. So like for example, if we access our app and there's no internet connection, we might want to have a condition that checks the internet, right? Or like checks whether the data exists, because that would indicate whether we have an internet connection. But for now our server could be updated independently of our web app. This stuff, right, if a new movie is getting released, they can just put that information in there, and now we can query, because now we've loaded the data locally, we can now query it, just like we could before. So it's like, give me a movie that was produced in 2015 with a rating of 9.1 or better, right? So this isn't really that different than where we left off from yesterday, but the point is that we've broken up the relationship from having the data locally on our computer to having it remotely in like a server that we created, we defined, and then we accessed it. And in order to access it, we had to add the header so that we could do like access another website. So we can try to style this like really quickly. If it takes more than a couple minutes, we'll just sort of give up because that's a bit auxiliary. But now that our HTML really shouldn't change at all, we can try. So I'm going to copy the code from another project from here, and I'm just going to like try to stitch it real quick. So we're working inside of movies/app. So we're working from here. So let me do this. Move CSS, CSS2. Yeah, and then we're going to copy recursively the folder here, the first one, and I want to grab that CSS and put it in a CSS file locally. Okay, now we have a new folder called CSS, and if I open it, it's basically a whole bunch of CSS I defined. The thing I care about is form, so I want to do like cat form. And we basically care about this form class because that'll make everything sort of nice. Then I just need to make sure that we import everything that we see here. So a clever trick for that is I go to my CSS folder and I'm going to call the command called tree, which is basically going to recurse down this folder directory and give us all the names. Then I'm going to do a little bit of text processing to get this ready for our website. So any of the custom stuff we'll deal with later. Then we're going to use the CSS import directive like this, and that's done. And we just need to put CSS, and then last we can do custom like that, and then we just need to change these values here. So we go like this, and that's it. So this is now ready for us to import into our app, and I don't think it'll make that many changes, except now we can opt into CSS assuming that I did this correctly. Yeah, so now it looks a little different, and the console is complaining about colors because colors was not found. It's right there. Did I do something wrong? Hang on, I bet you it's complaining about all of it, because like, oh yeah, this is weird. So I have a style tag, and I'm importing from app. App is inside of movies, and then adjacent to it, oh, no, this is parallel. It's not inside of source. So we have CSS, which has custom and colors. So that's weird. Why is that a problem? Let's try that again. I don't see any issues. Oh, I think I need to put the root thing. The connection. Oh, did it crash for you, Emin? I'm still online, so it should be okay. Just checking on my phone. Yeah, it's definitely slower. Yeah, it might have crashed. Give me a second, I can try to fix this. Oh, no, I can see it on my phone. It's totally fine. So it might just be your connection for a minute. Let me know if you get back online. I should be fine now. Okay, so, let me turn off the sound here. Okay, so I think we just need to put a slash in front of here. I think that's what we need to do. Let's try that. So I just want to load it here. It's still freaking out. This is super weird. So it's like, it's line 26. Oh, that's down here. What? Something looks wrong. Include. No, it's import. Give me a second. So let's do like this. Sublime. Oh. No. Yeah, that's fine. This is how I did it before. I don't think this is different. Oops. Yeah, that looks equivalent. What is going on? Oh man, this is weird. Okay, let's try this again. So we are inside of here and we're inside of there. And I have app and I have CSS. I go to CSS and I go cat colors, Sublime colors. Is there anything wrong with the file? I don't think so. This is so weird. It's got to be something small. So it's complaining about 26, which is where it closes. So I feel like there's like a missing colon or something like insignificant that it's like fine, but it's something else. Okay, it's like fine now. Oh, did I break this? Okay, there's something breaking it here. Those files exist, don't they? CD custom, form, and grid. So it really, this is so weird. It doesn't like this. So if I reload that, I have no problem. But if I put this back, it crashes. That doesn't make sense. Unless I've broken those files and didn't know that. Okay, let's do this. So grid, is a grid, form. Oh, that's kind of weird. Let's try that. Okay, I had an import inside of a dependency, and then this was going weird. So I had to, like, I think that'll fix it. No, I am going to get rid of that. Placeholder will be black. It's not going to be gray. Okay, so now I should be able to just opt into my CSS. So here's our file, and now it's going to get a little messy, but like in theory, I can do this sort of like Bulma style. I can do like class form, and like let's see if that changes anything. Okay, so that, yeah, these are like bigger, or this is bigger. Oh, okay, so we fixed this thing. Then let's put a class here, a form. Okay, so the buttons are bigger. Let's give them a background. So let's just do like, this is really lazy, but I'm just going to do it anyway. So we do background. This is really lazy. Let's do like the Tailwind CSS red light. Let's try that. Okay, let's just try red light. There we go. Okay, so then like let's make this like, let's make these blue. lighter. Okay, that's fine. Let's make the whole thing use the grid class. That's kind of cool. Then let's put this inside of a single div. Okay, so they're next to each other. Oh, but this is blocking. Like ideally, this is the search bar, which is here. Oh, that's good. Okay, that's fine for now. And then the only thing that I want to do is give these a class of form. So the thing is, like, if we were using Bulma here, you can see how we just opt into the classes once our logic is written, and then everything sort of suddenly gets nice. We're going to do like background. Oops, let's do like style. Background. Var. Gray light. Let's try that. Okay. And then let's do like style, background, var, var, gray lightest. That, yeah. So, you know, it's not a finished app, but it is requesting from a server. We can search against different parameters, and in theory, you can just like update it independently now. Right? So yeah, this is sort of stupid, but sort of cool. Now let's do like blue lightest. Yeah, or like blue lighter. Yeah. And then let's make these like gray. And let's make them a little darker. Yeah, so I mean, it's like, it's a little dumb, but it's a start. If we wanted to go even further, we could do this. We could say, I want you to be capital. Oops. And I could say, I want you to be like heavy. So I could say like weight 900. Yeah, and then obviously the color is like a little too dark. So I could say like, whoops, I could do like gray. Let's do like gray dark. Ooh, that's getting good. Let's try darkest. Okay, that's kind of nice. We can do the same thing with the placeholder, except we need to do it a few times. Because remember, we have 3 inputs, we don't have 1. So I'm going to copy this, drop it in here. We'll check with just the year. Yeah, the year looks kind of good. Put that there. Put that there. Sorry, Nick. I'll check my connection one more time, but I think it's okay for me. Speed of. I think I'm still okay. Yeah, it's slow though. But I can see it on my phone, which means unless it's laggy, we're still good. Like, is this smooth? Let's see. It's still smooth on my phone, so I'm going to keep going. Because that means the video is recorded. Okay, so now we have title. Okay, that looks good. And then let's just make this also bold. So right now I just do weight 900, right? Cool. And then let's not make it, let's do like gray dark again. And that's it. So yeah, we made it's kind of responsive. We made a web app. Sort of useless, but pretty cool. Imagine like we had movie posters and like, let's make the background black actually. Let's do like darker. Let's do darkest. Yeah, we need to change a few things because like the blue doesn't work anymore. But you sort of get the thing. Like now it's just customization. We do like red darker. Whoops, not the text. We want the background, which would be, oh, I have a class for this. I could do background gray dark, no, red. darker. Let's try that. Did I break everything? It's weird. Oh, yeah, because I took out the view logic too. So like now, now we're good. Ooh, it's terrible. Nah, you get the point. Gray, dark. Oh, then let's make the text white. Then let's do like this. We'll do like gray lighter. Okay. Yeah, so you guys see like this is sort of starting to look Netflixy. Anyway, I'm going to call it on this project because now it's really just personal preference. But I hope that that was pretty cool and exciting. These could each basically point to a URL, so we just click it and it fires the URL. There could be a movie poster with like a bio. You could do a whole bunch of stuff because now we have a perspective of the front end, the back end, the sort of the logic. We covered all the facets, and now you would just make it fancy, which I might do at a later time. But now we can do something new and fresh. So do you guys have any questions or comments or anything before we close this down and start something new? Okay, I don't think we have any questions. If not, we can try something with CSS Grid and Vue. Okay, I think we can start getting ready. Oh, tired. Okay, no worries. So we started at 30 past. It's been 40 minutes. Anna, are you still around? Do you want to try the next project, or should we just do that later? I'd rather be helping live. So just let me know if you're there. If not, we can just sort of close it for now. Okay, I think if nobody is here, then we'll just call it because I don't want to, I'd rather have interaction than talking to myself. Okay, so I'm just going to close this. We'll skip part 2 for now, just because I'm like more tired than I thought I would be. But then whatever I do produce, I'll share it, so you can still play with it. Okay. Yeah, let me close this, and then we can do something fresh later when I have more energy. Yeah. Okay, let me close this. We'll skip part 2 for now, because we finished this, so part 2 is actually a new project, but I am much more tired than I thought it would be. Okay, and then we can like pick up tomorrow or whenever works for everyone. Anyway, Emin, Nick, Anna, and I know somebody else joined us earlier. Ryan, if you're still here, thank you for all joining, and we will try something again tomorrow. Thanks, guys. I'm going to turn off the stream now.